don't think any of us have matured at all. I don't think we have.
I matured a little bit.
Not much.
I have learned lessons.
Hello, everybody, and welcome to the wrestling show with the hour of the Brewd in the forest.
Hello, everybody, and welcome. This is the BREWDCAST. I am, as always, Bud Robinson. This is Town. He's about to bitch, and this is Leon. Say hi, Leon.
Hi, Leon.
Hi, everybody.
Okay.
By the way, we've been gone for a little while. Hopefully, this one turns out.
Okay,
But it's
Me
in the
and
way.
Town have shit weather
Just-
right now, so we'll see.
just hold on.
Okay.
Okay, you're gonna run a battle royal with 10 tag teams. Okay.
No, I wouldn't do that, but
Well,
carry
that's
on.
what they're doing. That's
get-
what they're doing.
yeah,
They're running
no, I
a
get
battle
it.
royal with 10 tag teams because they want to
Is
make
that bad?
they want to make the best match possible.
Mm.
And guess who eliminated the most people? And guess who was the sole survivor? Jeff fucking Jarrett. Jeff Jarrett.
Why? Why?
Jeff
Why?
fucking
Why?
Jarrett.
Why? Why? Jeff Jarrett is not the best of anything. He's the best at wearing black shit on camera. No, he's not even good at that.
No, he's
Jesus
not.
crackers. He's 152 years old, which wouldn't be terrible because Ric Flair could go at like 60. Sting is like, what, 67? And he can go. But Jeff Jarrett can't go, and he's not interesting, and he's boring as hell, and get him the fuck off of my calendar.
Yeah, that's pretty much what I wanted to say. Thanks,
Fire
bud.
up.
Thanks, bud. Thanks, bud. No, I mean,
I didn't know I had that in me.
the fuck are we doing? The fuck are we doing? Like I sit there and like you're gonna leave out Ray Phoenix and Penta. You're gonna leave out those guys that jump around that I forgot the name of. That I always
What?
forget the name of. Yeah, those guys. Top Flight.
Top Flight.
They're great. Top Flight's great. There's a million more. Butcher and the Blade.
Yeah. Oh my God, the
the-
Butcher and the Blade. Like, they have not gotten their chance, the Butcher and the Blade. Like,
No.
this could have been their chance. What the fuck?
Best friends. So here's my conundrum. This show tonight was actually phenomenal. It
Okay.
was a really good episode of Dynamite. They opened with Orange Cassidy, great match. Mox finished the show, great match with Evil Uno.
Evil Uno,
Surprisingly
yeah.
good match. They went a cool way with it. Everything in the
Evil
middle
Uno.
was great. And then
He
they
can
go to
wrestle.
that battle royal, and that battle royal is like, it sucked. It was poorly put together. It came down to the last three guys in the ring were Trent Beretta, Jarrett, and then fucking Jarrett's partner, whose name I forgot.
Jay Lethal.
I'm sorry to hate him,
You-
and I shouldn't. And then the big tall guy was out there preventing him from getting knocked out of the ring.
I mean, that's
And
cool.
No,
But,
it's
like,
stupid.
No, I agree. Like, but they do that in battle royals, and it's funny or interesting. Like when they did it with Dalton Castle. It's an interesting bit that they do, but it can't be your last. Like, it's a bit. It's not like.
Well, it's
That's not how you win a fucking battle royal.
Trent threw Jarrett over the ropes, and he got caught. And Jarrett got thrown back in the ring. Immediately hit him with the slap nuts move and threw him out of the ring.
No,
That was the ending. And then they come back, and then they went to a promo with him because we got to have more Jeff Jarrett.
Tom, whenever you can have more Jeff Jarrett on your show, you gotta have more Jeff Jarrett on your show.
Because you don't want ratings. You don't want people to watch your product. You want them to change the channel. Who the fuck wants
Change
to?
the goddamn channel. That is the goal, right?
That is what's going to start happening. Like now, so now we're going to get the 4-way match at this pay-per-view that's coming up is going to suck.
Wasn't
And
it that there was supposed to be like 2 battle royals or something?
yeah, there's another one next week.
Oh, okay.
We'll
gotcha,
see.
cool.
We'll see what they do then. Maybe
Jeff
Sam
Jarrett.
and Singh.
Give it to Jeff Jarrett again. Why the hell not?
So the Guns, the Acclaimed, Jarrett, and Lethal, and then whoever wins next week.
Jesus Christ.
It's not good.
One of these things is not like the other.
It's not good. You
Well,
sent the
2 of these
article.
things are not like the other.
You sent the article the other day about Bud. You did about how the storytelling in AEW sometimes is wonk,
Yeah.
and I will agree to that. And when I
Can't be on
watched
occasion.
Elimination Chamber from start to finish, WWE is much, much better at storytelling, and I will freely admit that. The really long, drawn-out angles, AEW is better. But that's all they can do. Anything short-term is getting rough.
I've been struggling with this a lot because I have found myself not really caring about AEW or wrestling in general. Like I'm just kind of in a slump. Like I'm not interested in watching it as much in the last 4 weeks as I have been. And part of the reason why I don't want to catch up with AEW is the guys who I really like watching, like Eddie Kingston, like Top Flight, like Kenny Omega and the Young Bucks. The guys I really like watching, they're not on TV and they don't have interesting storylines. You look at the story between Hangman and Kenny Omega, and I mean to some extent it's still going, right? Like,
yep.
That's so that kind of storytelling is amazing. But when you have Jeff Jarrett show up and say, I'm just going to be in every segment and I'm going to win all the time because I'm 54 years old and I think I'm relevant. I don't care about and I look at how many times they've dropped the ball on characters who were hot, on storylines that were hot, or how many times they've drawn out a storyline that didn't need to be drawn out. Like they didn't have enough substance there. Jade is a perfect example of that. I just go, man, you guys have some real gems there, but you are fucking so many things up that it's just sometimes it's really hard to watch.
What I got out of when I watched Elimination Chamber, the stories that WWE is able to tell, and I'm gonna give major props to Roman Reigns.
Mm-hmm.
And Leon, you can get as mad at me as you want. I don't care. In that main event against Sami Zayn, his psychology work was off the fucking charts. It was so fucking good. I watched it with my fiance, and her response to me was, "This match sucks. This is not a good wrestling match." I'm like, you know what? You're right. It's not. But if you actually watch the psychology of this match, holy fuck, did they tell a story? They told the fucking story. So I'm sitting there and I'm like processing that. I'm like, you would never see that on AEW.
Yeah. Yeah.
But then my response to that was, I don't watch AEW for that.
Yes.
I watch AEW for the in-ring work. That is what I prefer. Like the in-ring work. If I want to watch a story, I can watch Raw. And dude, the fucking WWE's hitting shit out of the park right now. Do I totally agree with the way the Sammy thing went? No, but what are you, like, you can't, what the fuck are you going to do? You booked yourself into a corner. And it went probably the way you didn't think it was going to go. But like, WWE and AEW are wrestling. But they're not the same thing. They're completely fucking different. They have two completely different goals. They try to get places in different things. Different things matter. Size matters. Packaging, the way you look, that all matters in WWE. Whereas opposed to AEW, if you can cut a promo and you can work, you can be there and you can be successful. And I think it's just you don't even have to cut a promo because Darby can't cut a fucking promo. Love Darby Allin. He can't talk. But like, it's such a different... It's like two completely different things. And it's amazing because we knock sports entertainment all the time. It has been a tradition on this podcast to knock it. But if we go back to 1998 and we look at Steve Austin and we look at The Rock and we look at the shit like with DX that was going on, when sports entertainment works, it's fantastic. It is. When pro wrestling works, it's fantastic.
I mean,
both things are fantastic in a different way.
I would argue that the stuff that was happening in the Attitude Era was not sports entertainment in the way that Vince considers his product to be sports entertainment. I think what he considers to be sports entertainment is different, but that's neither here nor there. You're absolutely 100% right. Like, you don't in AEW, you don't have to cut a promo. Like, Darby Allin needs more depth, and if he's gonna go long term. But then again, maybe he doesn't. Like, we're looking. I look at that.
He can
and
go
I think,
drive his car off of stuff and skateboard off of stuff.
And like, if the fans are into that, give them more.
Yeah, I don't have any issues with the way Darby Allin is portrayed or booked. I think they're doing a great job with Darby Allin.
Yeah.
I think one of the problems with sports entertainment is, and we've seen this, you get a guy over a certain way, and you keep trying to go back to the well and do it again and do it again and do it again. Mm-hmm. Vince was trying to remake Hogan, and then like we're gonna take, who the fuck remembers Mordecai, the guy with the white?
Jesus.
We're gonna remake the Undertaker. It's never we got this new idea. It's always, well, we're gonna turn you into a new modern version of this. Mm-hmm. That shit don't work. Mm-hmm. And I think that Darby's uniqueness is great. I also think he fits that product. And I was like hyper aware of that tonight too. Like we go back to like the 90s and WWF and WCW were trying to do the same thing. Production, sports entertainment, bullshit.
Trash TV.
Yeah. And you had a group of fans who were like, that's not for me. And where they went? They all went to fucking ECW. That's how ECW got big. And they were more focused on in-ring and crazy shit. And I just look at that now and I'm like, are we in a war? A wrestling war? Or are we looking at two completely different things? So I think we're looking at two completely different things. Because I'm starting to think that balance of people that watch AEW, I don't think people watch AEW and Raw. I think there's a very small percent of people that do that. Because they're so fucking different. You know, like I could sit here and I can watch Dynamite, and even when Dynamite's bad, I still enjoy it. Mm-hmm. And like I can't watch Raw when Raw's bad. I'm sick to my stomach. It's so bad. You know what I mean? And that's just and we're hard on sports entertainment, but we've been burnt by it a lot more too. But you know, you're right.
Fucking years.
You hit the nail on the fucking head though, bud, because it's like AEW storytelling is really fucking erratic. Mm-hmm. And my worry is sometimes Tony Khan makes things harder than they need to be. And tries to draw things out and tries to do a slow build. So and I think that right there is what's killing him, because he's got this idea in his head that many of us wrestling fans that like study the business do. Slow builds are so much better. It's always got to be a slow build. It's always got to be a slow build. We're going to do this feud slow. We're going to build this guy up slow. Did they build the Ultimate Warrior up slow? Fuck no. And did that work? Fuck yeah, that worked. You can't argue it didn't work. Dude made a shitload of money. And I think the problem is Tony Khan has just like Vince has a pathway, Tony Khan has a pathway. And he's got to kind of break from that, because there's some guys, Eddie Kingston is a prime example. What the fuck are they doing with that? I haven't seen him on Dynamite in 4 months.
Yeah.
Like they both got ideas. They both have their ideas about things that work. Yeah. As far as their storytelling, as far as their building and their booking. Yep. And they both very, very, very much like their own formulas.
I think Triple H right now has a different, I think he's a little more versed, because he was sitting there under Vince seeing what Vince did wrong, and Triple H is a student of the game. That fucking guy loves professional wrestling. We all know that. We can all talk about his reign of terror and how terrible it was. But he was a good worker. Yeah. He knew what the fuck he was doing. Loves the business. So I look at that and I go, he's a little more. I have not been this hyped for a WrestleMania since WrestleMania 30. I can legitimately say that. I'm curious to see what they're going to do. Like I really am. Like I'm curious to see what they're going to do.
I feel like he's, at least, you know, from what we've seen of him when he was running NXT and then now being in control of the big shows, it feels like he's more than a one-trick pony. Like he's not just, you know, there's this way to do it and that's it. Like he's to, you know, to take a phrase, and there's more than one way to skin a cat. As long as it gets done, it gets done. Like
I would agree.
It doesn't have to be done this way. Mm-hmm. As long as it works, which is fucking fantastic.
It makes it a lot.
So many different ways to tell these stories that they're doing.
It makes it a lot easier to watch. He's not hitting a home run on everything he does. Some of the shit he does is still bad. That's just inevitable. You're gonna do bad shit, but I look
perfect. Yeah,
and I think that's my
perfect all the way around.
My frustration with AEW though is that some things they're doing were like the way Orange Cassidy as All Atlantic Championship has been booked has been amazing. Like they're doing the right thing with him. Don't take that belt off him. Just have him keep fucking beating people. You're building a fucking star. And then the way they got the Acclaimed over was fantastic.
Yeah.
I wasn't even opposed to the Ass Boys winning the belts.
Like it happened out of nowhere, man.
the Ass Boys winning the belts was very well done. They beat FTR, boom, boom, boom. Now, as I sit here and talk about this tag team match, it has me annoyed. If FTR comes back and wins the Battle Royal next week and then wins the championships, then I'm not going to complain. But that's probably the only way.
That place is gonna explode if that's what happens. I don't feel like I don't know. I haven't been watching, but I feel like
I just watched the podcast with Dax where Dax said, "Yeah, all right, I'm ready to go back to work. If Tony needs us, we'll go back."
Well, there you go.
So I think they're playing some shit up, and they're trying to get a little attention. I honest to God think when Punk comes back, which is now inevitable, everyone knows that. We had all those conversations about it never it's going to happen. Now it's clearly inevitable. When he comes back, I think he's going to be with them.
Did I miss something? I'm sorry.
Yeah, Punk's coming back.
What makes it inevitable now? I'm sorry.
Just the way things are going, just the way people are talking, just the things that people are saying, and that I guess it's a backstage rumor too.
I think
Okay.
Punk's interactions on social media.
I just wondered if I had missed something.
There's a lot of a lot of little.
I sleep during the day, so
a lot of little hints going on. People saying like Chris Jericho now is talking about how, I loved working with Punk. I'd love to work with him again. You know, I had some great matches with him, and then Tony Khan's talking about him. This guy's talking about him. So I think it's inevitable, but I think he's going to come back. He's going to go with those two.
Yeah,
and I think they're going to feud with the Elite. And you and I have talked about it, Bud, about how if he comes back, that will be like the hottest moment, but they have to find a way to make that fucking work.
Mm-hmm.
You know?
Yeah.
I think with all the egos involved, I mean, they still can find a way to make it where everybody can see the big picture.
See, the more I thought about that whole thing that happened at Brawl Out, the more I think it's less about ego, and I think it's more about respect. I think that's a whole respect thing. I think there was a lot of disrespect felt across the board, and they just got more and more chippy with each other. Just like Shawn Michaels and Bret Hart. What was that disagreement about? At the end of the day, it was respect. And I think that's what this is. I think it's very similar to that. Because Bret and Shawn are friends now.
Mm-hmm.
Because they were actually able to sit down and look each other in the eye and say, I respect you, and have the conversation. And this feels like that. This doesn't feel like I'm a bigger star than you. It feels like, why are you going behind my back? Don't you have the respect to talk to my face? And then Punk or then Omega and those guys are like, well, don't you have the fucking respect? You went out there and did that. You didn't have the respect to fucking come to us. So I think that's a respect thing.
I also get the sense, I don't know this for a fact, but I have for a long time felt like Punk and the Bucks and possibly Kenny are friends. I think that they are close, and when something like that happens between friends, no matter how close you are, like that hurts a lot harder. And so like to some extent I understand CM Punk's, I mean, to the entire extent, I suppose I understand why Punk did what he did. I don't agree with it, but that's neither here. You know, that's other podcasts. You can listen to those. And I just think that like you're right. Like I think when you lose that respect between those two people or between those two groups, whatever, things break down.
Yeah, I think that was what set it off. I don't think there's any legitimate hatred. I don't think there's anything like that. I think it's just, you better fucking respect me.
Mm-hmm.
You know, you disrespected us, we disrespected you, went back and forth, and then it just kind of, you know, if they could have just been
snowballed.
If they could have been brought together in a room and sat down and been like, hey, we have to figure this out, which I'm sure Tony will do next time he runs into that problem.
I think going back a little bit to the storytelling thing, I think that's one thing that we keep seeing with Tony, is that he does not have, as much as he knows about wrestling and as much as he knows about booking and stars, and as well as he's done with some storylines, I think that he lacks, it's very clear sometimes when he lacks understanding, like with Brawl Out, like with, like he could have brought them together beforehand. You were talking about Triple H, and I think like Triple H has both sides of the coin, right? Like he's learned under Vince, but he also learned with like William Regal and those guys, and like he learned how to book a show in the old style, like WCW, like actually book a show that is going to be interesting and fun to watch. That's about pro wrestling. I lost my train of thought, but I just like Tony doesn't have that, and so I think he sometimes gets to points where he's like, okay, I need to tell a story with this person, but I don't have any way to do it, and so he kind of flounders, which is why I think the stuff with the Elite and with Punk and like Eddie Kingston winds up being really good. It's because they have the know-how to like help Tony.
Or Jericho.
Jericho's a perfect example. Absolutely.
I think this goes back to having too big of a roster.
Mm-hmm.
I think this goes back to having too many toys to play with, and I think a flaw. And you and I have talked about this before in depth on here about how it's good to get people off TV for a little bit.
Mm-hmm. Jeff Jarrett.
But what happens when you're off TV for 7 months?
Yeah.
And you're not hurt?
Yeah.
Like Miro. Miro's been off TV forever. What the fuck are we doing with Miro? You know, what the fuck are we doing with Eddie Kingston? What the fuck are we doing with these guys? We've got some really, really heavy hitter guys that can make a huge difference that aren't doing shit. And how do we... Leon dropped his camera. How do we...
Because my camera got headbutted.
Oh, by a cat. Cats are stupid.
Cat.
How do we... I completely lost my fucking train of thought now. Completely.
That's okay.
Sorry.
Thanks, Leon. Cats.
He needed attention. I'm sorry.
It's okay.
I get that.
I
do.
Yeah. Too many people.
Mm-hmm.
Miro's not there. We give WWE shit about it. How they never fucking use Miro right. At least they had him on TV because we don't even have him on TV right now.
Mm-hmm.
Or the House of Black is like floundering on Rampage.
Yeah.
Like, how do we not... When he came in, he never should have lost to Cody. Never should have lost to Cody. And that was the problem I had. That was a big problem I had with Cody. Cody was like, I'll let you beat me once, then I'm going to beat you, then I'm going to beat you, then I'm going to decisively beat you. That was every Cody feud. He would lose the first match, and then he would just destroy him afterwards.
Mm-hmm.
And it was like that.
Yeah, with that one too. When he did the fucking leave his boots in the ring thing and everything, and then just come back and just stomp him out. It's like,
yeah, it was not good. Cody was not.
Yeah,
it was. I think Cody made the right.
Cody
made the right call. He made the right call leaving.
Mm-hmm.
I think Cody made the right call leaving. I think he's a much better fit in WWE.
Oh God, yes. Yeah, he's one of their biggest draws. Like, I 100%. Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, I don't know. AEW has to be. They've got to kind of focus a little bit, and they've got some big things. That CM Punk thing, I'm telling you, if you do that right, that could be the biggest thing in wrestling. If you do it wrong, what are we doing?
I mean, popcorn part the church.
If they do it wrong, it's forgettable. And unfortunately, I think that a lot of the CM Punk stuff has been forgettable for a variety of reasons. But
I still say you're down on Punk a little bit because his return.
Yeah,
his return was off the fucking charts.
MJF, his feud with MJF was amazing. Outside of that, I don't know.
I liked his match with Eddie. I like the way they built that up.
Mm-hmm.
I like that heel turn tease. I like that playing both sides of the coin. I didn't think his Darby thing was bad. I thought it was a good match back. I thought it was a good way to introduce him.
Mm-hmm.
I think the biggest problem with CM Punk is a fucking heel.
Yeah.
And when you push him as a babyface, it's really hard. And that was kind of, they blurred that line with the MJF feud, which I thought was great.
Mm-hmm.
CM Punk is kind of an unlikable guy.
And I think that was one of the things that made the MJF feud so incredible, was that they blurred that line.
And that's like his social media bio, lovable jerk.
Yeah. But he's such a good heel. He's such a good fucking heel.
He is.
Yes, he is.
What they did tonight, you didn't watch it, Leon, did you?
No, I didn't. I got up just before we started recording.
Okay. So they had a really fucking amazing promo with MJF and Danielson. And that match, I'm excited for that match because I want to see what they're going to do. And I think they're building that match pretty fucking well. I think they're doing a good job with it. I think the way they've gone, yeah, it's been a slow build. Yeah, but there's been some moments where it's kind of like, but I think they're at a point now where you want Danielson to beat MJF, which is impressive because 4 weeks ago you couldn't get anybody to boo him. Now everybody fucking hates him.
Mm-hmm.
So they're doing a good job with that. The Moxley.
My only issue with it is something that we've talked about before. Is it's the same heel program that he's run several times. You want to fight me? Well, you got to go through this and 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 this first. And that's the only feud he's had.
Yep, I think they're doing a good job. They're doing a good job of doing something a little different with him. It was good. What they did was good. It got you hyped for the match. Moxley Hangman has been built great. That's easy.
Yeah.
We just fucking hate.
Oh yeah, with the legitimate knockouts and shit. Yeah.
I mean it's easy. The tag team thing is awful. They're doing a 3-way for the women's belt.
Oh yeah,
Jamie Hayter, Ruby, and Saraya.
I'm intrigued by that.
They're still pushing that originals versus the interlopers thing.
Dude, I loved Saraya and Toni Storm. I think they're fantastic. I think they're amazing. I think Paige is another one. Saraya, she's another one that's just a better heel.
Mm-hmm.
She's a natural heel. Yeah.
Yeah. So that's a real thing.
She's so damn good at it. She tends to get fucking cheers.
Yeah, that's kind of the
same
thing.
It's the same thing with Max. Yeah.
What else is going on at that show? I don't remember. There's another. Oh, Wardlow, Samoa Joe. Town don't care about.
Did he have more sit down time with JR?
They just kind of showed a recap of it, dude. Here's the thing. Love Samoa Joe, and I really like Wardlow. I think Wardlow's way better than he gets credit for.
Mm-hmm.
The problem is he's going to run through people, and I think they're trying to make it a personal thing. Oh, you cut my hair, and that was my connection to my dad. Okay, but everybody's just kind of like, oh, you were the fucking TV champ, and you didn't do anything. I don't want TV champ again. Like, why would we give it? But
that kind of touches on another problem with Tony's long-term booking and everything. Like, he's done really well booking the chase, booking a face going after the title, going after the big nasty heel and everything. But the issue that they've had is once they get there, once they win the title, once they beat that big opponent, they kind of flounder after that because there haven't been really.
It's interesting because
strong face.
I would argue with you that Orange Cassidy's in the middle of a strong face title reign, and I think they're doing a great job with him. And I would argue that the Acclaimed
but he didn't really have that big chase thing and everything for it, though.
He did. Well, he did. That was more the feud with Pac playing out.
Yeah.
But but the Acclaimed, I would argue too, they were doing just fine. They were booking them good till they lost to the Ass Boys, which I still don't understand, but I'm okay with it.
Yeah, that was weird, but I mean, it seems like they're actually trying to do something with it. Unless this is a roundabout way to put the tag straps on Jarrett, then
we're
adults, ladies and gentlemen. We're adults. Fart noises are still funny.
They are.
I hope to God that doesn't happen with Jarrett.
Yeah.
Speaking of fart noises,
it just feels way too much like like that's the way they're going with it.
That group of guys is not.
It's such a weird group, too.
They're not that fucking talented.
No fucking sense.
I don't understand why they're getting so much of a push. They're getting so much TV time. I've said that since day one. And Bud, you argued with me about Jay Lethal. I fucking love Jay Lethal, but this Jay Lethal sucked.
Yeah, this Jay Lethal is playing second fiddle to fucking Jeff Jarrett.
That is
which is not the way it should be going in the year of our Lord 2023.
We have a tall guy, so he's gonna do tall guy stuff, and we're gonna beat you because of the tall guy. They're so bad. They're probably no. I take that back. They are the worst booked stable in professional wrestling right now. Hands fucking down.
I can't disagree with you on that.
Damn.
They are. They
That's
suck.
quite the statement, but I mean, I can't think of anybody.
Tell me
worse
somebody
right now,
fucking better. Tell me somebody worse. I can tell you a million teams better. You're just like, what the fuck? And that's the other thing is Tony gets these ideas, it seems like, where he gets stuck on this weird shit with these weird people, and like We can't get fucking Eddie Kingston on TV. We can't get like all these guys we have that we want to get on TV. Danhausen can fucking be a manager who does silly fucking comedy spots. But Jeff Jarrett gets matches and fucking promo time. Jeff Jarrett probably got more fucking time on screen tonight than anybody.
Which is absurd.
I believe that.
What the fuck are we doing? I mean, if they win the tag belts, I mean, you might as well throw those belts in the fucking garbage. Because you know exactly what happened when Jarrett won. The crowd went, ugh. And there was no noise. And then he's trying to celebrate and do heel stuff. And everybody's just like, dude, go away. We don't want to fucking see you. That's my concern. Are we going to have him win like the fucking... Are we going to put the world fucking belt on that guy?
Yes, absolutely.
Are we going to do that? Because
let's make him the belt collector.
Like, if they were doing something like like they're doing with Sting with him, where he's playing second fiddle to a young up and comer and supporting them and mentoring them, I could maybe see that kind of thing working. But it's him and another seasoned vet, but he's the one being played as the big star and the one with all the potential and all that, and it's
yeah, it doesn't make any sense.
It's like, so bad.
Jay Lethal doesn't need the rub. Sanjay Dutt does not need the rub. Satnam Singh does not need the rub. Like, he has those other two guys to help him along. Like, put Jeff Jarrett with anybody else, literally anybody else in that scenario. As much as I don't want to see him on the screen, that is not the group to put him with.
I don't understand it. I don't understand it. I dislike that group before, and I bitched about that group before. I bitched about that group because of the way they were booked and the way they were getting all this TV time, and it made no fucking sense to me because it was like, you guys aren't really that over. Jay Lethal can work. Why are we on screen? Why are we getting 15 minutes of airtime every week? And then they get Jeff Jarrett. It's just like, oh my, the thing I hated most in the show, you added fucking Jeff Jarrett. Like, he's wearing the same fucking trunks he wore in the WWF in 1999. Same fucking trunks. He looks exactly the same, just a little older and less in shape. And his hair might be a little longer, and he still has no fucking charisma. And he sucks. He just sucks. He sucks to watch. He sucked to watch in 99. He sucked to watch in 2001. He sucked when they were pushing him as WCW champion. Nobody watched TNA because he sucked. Like, what the? Why are we giving this guy such a fucking platform? I just don't fucking get it. We're taking these hot young...
To be fair, when TNA first started and he wasn't the centerpiece of it, it was some interesting stuff and some good wrestling, but that's neither here nor there.
Yeah,
the second I heard
like that anymore.
The second I heard the name of TNA and I figured Vince Russo was involved, I knew that I didn't want to watch
it. That's a fair presumption. It really is.
Oh,
Jesus.
Russo was involved at that point? Really?
Russo was involved from the get-go.
I did not know that.
He was involved from the get-go. Hence the name.
I knew Jarrett was involved, but I had no idea Russo was involved at that point. Learned something new.
They were like frickin' frack. They were always together. I mean, they were. Like, Russo loved fucking Jarrett.
Yeah, that's true. That's very true. Especially
in such an odd couple in my head. It's not making sense in my head, but it does. It's weird.
Jeff Jarrett.
We could talk about somebody else.
Who do you want to talk about, bud? What do you got?
Oh, I don't know. I don't have anything. I just don't want to talk with Jeff Jarrett anymore.
He makes me so mad. He infuriates me.
That is fair.
Did you, Leon, you watch Elimination Chamber?
I did.
I thought it was pretty good.
I did. Pretty good show.
The Logan Paul ending of the cage match was... He ran out and cost Seth Rollins a match because they're going to go to WrestleMania. WrestleMania will be interesting this year. We should do a prediction show for that one. We're going to make Bud watch WrestleMania.
No.
Bood.
I'll go rent WrestleMania 3. I'll watch that. I'm not watching WrestleMania
Okay,
this
hold on.
year.
Of all the main events in WrestleMania,
Mm-hmm.
the 3 was the spectacle, but the actual match was pretty dog shit.
I'm just saying.
Hogan and Andre.
I mean,
I would rather watch
Andre
that.
could barely move at that point, so yeah, it was pretty rough.
WWE is not my thing. It's just not.
Those two were pros.
No.
They sold the fuck out of it.
Worst main event in WrestleMania history. Go.
LT and Bam Bam.
What about Hulk Hogan beating Yokozuna in 30 seconds?
Oof. Okay.
What about Roman Reigns?
That was the last one.
What about Roman Reigns, Triple H, that had like a 40-minute match when the crowd was ready for nothing and just booed, and then the crowd got muted? I like that
Roman
one.
Reigns and anybody.
I'm looking them up because I don't remember any of them.
WrestleMania main events.
Yeah.
Could I name them all?
I don't
know if I
remember
could.
Miz versus John Cena being very fun.
Oh, that was pretty bad. That Rock cost the match in that one.
Roman Reigns versus Undertaker.
Yeah, that match was bad in a few ways because
Yeah.
Roman won and Taker looked so just.
He looked horrible because he
Yep.
was in such bad shape at that point, and they had to cart him out, even though he had already lost his streak.
They had to have him lose his streak again to Roman so Roman could get that nod too. They really did go apeshit pushing Roman. What other main events are there?
Oh Christ!
I still think the Yokozuna Hart WrestleMania 9 was the worst. Just because Hogan came out and ruined that whole thing. To me, that's the worst WrestleMania I've ever seen. There have been other ones that have been really bad. But usually they have like one thing to save them. Like there's one moment or one match that was good. That WrestleMania 9 had nothing upon nothing. Unless you want to see Bobby Heenan.
Come on, Jacob versus Giant Gonzalez.
Pretty bad. Pretty bad.
Oh, good Lord.
Fucking bad.
Chloroform.
How are they going to separate, Leon? This is more for you than Bud, because Bud, I know you don't watch. How are they going to separate the belts? Because we know they want to separate the belts. Are they going to have Cody defend both and lose one? Are they going to take one from him? Are they going to make a new belt? Because making a new belt sounds really stupid. Doesn't it?
Yeah.
That's not really a reason for them not to.
Fuck.
Stupid has never stopped them
I
before.
still think it could end up being him somehow defending both on separate nights.
Roman?
Yeah.
I don't think so, because I think they're banking on Cody's the guy. We're going to make Cody the star of stars by having him be the first guy to beat Roman. So I don't think and that's clearly going on night 2 at the end, because that's their match.
I mean, he could defend it both nights, win night 1 against, I don't know, Sami Zayn or Kevin Owens or something, and then this. I mean, then you tell the story of like who, Cody Rhodes beat him, but he was tired, and I don't think they want to do that.
I think they just want to get the belt off of him and make their guy and kind of have somebody else to run with.
Well, but then that opens up the opportunity to like Roman Reigns wants to fight somebody, next week or next month.
That's a legitimate question that I have. You've spent the past 3 years with one guy as champion, which kudos to them because it's not easy to do, especially in this like modern time. What the fuck do you do with Roman Reigns after WrestleMania when he loses?
I think he leaves. I legitimately, and I'm not saying that because I'm down on Roman or I think he should leave. I think like he's earned his paycheck several times over, right? And like this guy has carried your company for better or worse for the last at least 3 years. Let him go. Like, let him take 3 or 4 months off, and then when he comes back, potentially he'll be a bigger deal.
I like that.
I just don't like.
I don't think he needs to be on Raw the next night. I think he does. Back in the day, you'd go to WrestleMania as a heel, you'd lose the belt, then you wouldn't be on TV. You'd go away for a little bit. They did that for a while.
Yeah.
Just because sometimes those heels need to recharge, especially if you're a good heel and you've been champion for a while, then you get beat decisively at Mania.
And like, do you
kind of
like Triple H remembers that? Triple H knows that stuff, and he knows that would work. I think that would work perfectly for Reigns.
If I would have told you in like 2004 that someday Triple H is going to be the booker and he's going to do an amazing job, what would you have said?
I would have said, yeah, probably.
I don't know. 2004 Triple H, you guys weren't too high on his reign of terror.
Yeah, but I don't know. 2004, I guess. I didn't. I don't know. I think you and I probably would have had a conversation about it, and at the end of it, I probably would have been like, "Yeah, that probably makes sense."
He did. Yeah, he loves the business.
I think even back then, he was more knowledgeable about professional wrestling than Vince was.
I agree.
And you know, I have arguments with you two about this, but like Vince, he's a good promoter. He does not know pro wrestling, which is why I think WWE has floundered, because he has a company full of pro wrestlers trying to do sports entertainment, and it doesn't fly.
It changed. I mean, the way he did sports entertainment in the 80s changed the wrestling world forever. Yeah. And it brought it more mainstream. I mean, and he did it again in the late 90s. But he did not do it in any of the 2000s. By 2002, his cards were kind of played, and then his company was just kind of there, and it was just big.
Yeah.
I mean, they didn't have anything to really...
It was just self-perpetuating at that point.
Yeah. I mean, they had Cena. Cena was a big star, but... Like, I don't know. They would have been fine without Cena, too.
Cena, to me, had the same career that Hulk Hogan had.
Yeah.
But his career was... it went faster for some reason. I think because he was on TV more than Hogan was.
Yeah.
People didn't get as tired as Hogan because Hogan would be on TV here or there.
Yeah.
Then he'd do a big pay-per-view. And, like, Cena was on TV every fucking week, wrestling every fucking week. Yeah. And random 6-man and tag team matches and weird handicap matches and shit. I mean, if you would have done that with Hogan in the 80s, I think it would have been the same thing. Tony Khan's idea there would have been to not put him on TV as much. That would have worked when you have a star like that, but you have to make that star. Mm-hmm. That's the other problem in AEW. Changing gears. Who's the fucking babyface?
There are none. I mean, like, you could say Danielson right now, but that could change next week. I think that's the thing with AEW. They have a lot of guys who switch. I mean, Mox is a perfect example. Eddie Kingston is a perfect example. Yeah. Like, they can play either side. They have these guys who can play the babyface pretty well, like, because the crowd really loves them. They've been doing it for so long that the crowd loves them. But then they tweak a few little things, and then you hate them, and that's their genius. But that also means that they don't have a babyface that's always a babyface, and maybe that's okay. I don't know.
Well, yeah, I think they have a lot of tweeners.
Yeah.
Oh God, they do. I think you don't have that one person. I feel this way about WWE too. You don't really have that one person you want to get behind. Sami Zayn was, but they just, like, that was just, it happened and now it's done. They don't have that guy that you want to sit there and get behind. They have to find a guy that they kind of, for a while I thought it might be Wardlow, but then they gave him that belt and it was just shit. They have to find somebody.
I mean, it could be Orange. It could be Jungle Boy. I think they just need to make the decision. Like, both of those guys, I think Hook too, like, they have that capability in them. It's just a matter of booking them properly.
I still think you give Jungle Boy the TNT belt as soon as possible.
Mm-hmm.
You have him defend that thing until, like, August. You have him get a wonky finish to get the strap off of him in August. And you start pushing him towards the fucking world title. Maybe have him win the fucking the ring that MJF won this year. Have him win that and have him cash in on MJF at the pay-per-view and beat him. Like, they could do that. He could be the guy. He's ready. he's ready. And I think he's the one guy. The fans just love the guy. Guys, girls, doesn't matter. Everybody loves Jungle Boy. There's just something about him. Let's do it. Eddie Kingston could do it too.
Yeah.
He'd be an anti-hero. It can't be Mox. It can't be Jericho. It can't be Danielson. It's got to be somebody. Because, like you said, they're so tweenerish.
Mm-hmm.
You know.
Mm-hmm.
Because I'm sure I don't think Danielson's beating MJF. I would say that's probably not going to happen.
Unfortunate.
Yeah, I'm on the fence about that. I could see them giving it to Danielson because I think he could make them a lot of money. But on the flip side, like they're just starting to get behind MJF.
Yeah, I can't
let
see
him let him keep the strap for a while.
Yeah, I think that's what they're going to do. But I could see Danielson coming back and being heel again after that and feuding with whoever. But who the fuck do you feed to MJF next? You know, you don't have anybody. It could be Starks. But he already fed Starks to him once.
Yeah, he can come back though. Like it wasn't so bad that it wasn't such a bad beatdown that he couldn't come back.
He cheated. Yeah.
Rubber match? I don't know how many matches they've had at this point.
One. I think just one.
So then just a return.
Yeah. It's interesting. I don't know. That's a good point though. That Starks probably who it is. Get him a pay-per-view shot out of that one.
Or Jungle Boy. I mean, there's no reason. Here's the thing. The one thing that I really love about MJF is that he's a young guy, but he's at this top spot, right? So like, you have all of this swath of talent who is young, that you can have fight MJF, and these guys like Wheeler Yuta, I think is a great example. Like you can send Wheeler Yuta to MJF. They have a program, and Yuta gets raised up by it. Like, even though they, like, technically they're on the same level, Yuta gets raised up because MJF has such charisma that he's gotten himself to the top spot. And so Wheeler Yuta does better. And, you know, you put Jungle Boy in there, Jungle Boy does better. You put Ricky, I mean, you can do it with anybody, really. And then you put him with an old guy and, you know, like Danielson or Mox, and it's just like, they still both get better. Because you wind up with a more interesting storyline.
Yep. How long till we get MJF versus Jarrett?
Next week.
Yeah.
You know what?
Fucking monsters.
I don't want to see Jeff Jarrett, except for one specific scenario. I want to see MJF challenge Jarrett every week for like a month. And like Jarrett loses every single time. And no, I guess that's it. That's all I really want to see. Maybe 2 months. Maybe 3 months.
Then we put him on a rocket ship and shoot him into the sun.
Run him over with a truck.
And then 4 years later, he'll come back. I'm still here. You fucking zombie.
I'm off the rocket, slap nuts.
Oh, great. That's exactly what it would fucking be, too. Oh. Yeah. I still can't believe I enjoyed Elimination Chamber. That one had me shocked because I wasn't expecting to, but then I watched. It was good. They did a good job. The stories are good. Everything's there. People are doing shit. But they're doing good.
I like that they're doing stuff with Asuka.
Yeah, I think she's gonna get the strap.
I hope so.
Like a legitimate run with it where she fucking murders people.
She should have fucking had it when she debuted, but
should have had it when she went to WrestleMania and lost to Charlotte because Charlotte's got to beat everybody. What a waste that was. If you would have given Shinsuke the strap and let him go, now he's just hanging out with Rick Boogs.
Yeah.
I don't even know if he's doing that anymore.
Who knows? But who has any idea?
Oh! I did.
Boogs hurt himself.
Boogs did hurt himself. Hey, big WrestleMania match, bud, that I want to watch with you. Somebody challenged Brock Lesnar, and they're going to have a match at WrestleMania.
Bobby Lashley.
No, because that would have made sense.
Austin Theory.
No, that would have been bad.
Jeff Jarrett.
His name starts with an O.
Oh God.
Omos?
Yes.
So the purpose of this match is you can see Brock throw Omos around.
Oh,
Why?
I don't know.
Why? Why?
Like we haven't seen him do it to Big Show before.
They're
And
gonna
Henry
do
and
Bobby
every other fucking monster they've had.
Bobby Lashley's fighting Bray Wyatt.
They tease Walter against Brock Lesnar, and everybody goes nuts, and they say, no, we're going to give him Bobby Lashley. And everybody's like, okay, sure, fine, Bobby Lashley. And they're like, no, just kidding.
Almost. Almost is not very good. Not very good.
How high do you have to be to think that's a good idea?
It should be Walter.
It should.
I love Walter.
Sure.
I think they're going to give him a push though.
Yeah.
I do. I think he's going to end up. If they bring 2 belts back, I think he'll have one of those before the end of the year. I think that's how high they are in him. So, because Trips loves the IC belt, and he's been IC champ for a while, and they're using that to build him up, which is great. It's what you're supposed to do.
Yeah. It's a classic move.
Also, my favorite thing on that whole Elimination Chamber pay-per-view and in WWE is Dominic Mysterio and Rhea Ripley.
Oh God.
Oh my God. He hold on. I'm gonna see
They're
if I can
so
find it.
fucking. They're so fucking good. They're everything they do.
So,
He's my fucking.
he has
Go ahead,
a TikTok right now talking about a tweet that his dad sent out when WWE 13 came out, the game.
Yeah.
And it says, finally got my copy of WWE 13. Can't wait to play it tonight on the bus. And can't wait to beat my kids as well. Enjoy 619. And Dominic plays it off like actually he did. It's like, oh my God, you are
He
amazing.
got his fucking ass kicked by Beth Phoenix, and she gave him the glam slam, and he's up there and he just screams before she smashes him into the fucking mat. He's so fucking incredible. He's so fucking incredible. I just like.
It's amazing.
He needs to wrestle his dad at WrestleMania, get his ass kicked, and then somehow win the match. Like, don't have that guy lose.
Yeah,
because he's so good.
And
he's so
Ray
fucking
doesn't need the W.
God no. God no. Yeah. I love Dominic.
I'm glad they're giving Rhea a chance because I think Rhea's awesome.
Well, they had her get beat up by Beth Phoenix and then pick number 1 and still win the fucking Women's Rumble.
Yeah.
So I don't think there's any way she's not beating Charlotte for that strap. I hope. But who the fuck knows? It is Charlotte. But I don't think Triple H is as into Charlotte as Vince was. Vince had a type. If you had blonde hair and really big fake boobs.
Yeah. No, that's true. It is true.
Sunny, Sable, Trish.
Jesus.
Undertaker's wife. There was like 14 of them running around during the after the Attitude Era there.
Kitty.
Miss Kitty was one.
Miss Kitty.
Deborah
that's right.
McMichael. Deborah McMichael. Half the fucking women's roster on SmackDown.
That's pretty much right. Yeah.
Tori.
Yeah, there was other ones too. There was a lot of them that would show up for like 2 weeks and then go away because they had no actual talent. But Vince is like, I'll make her a star because she's blonde with big boobs.
Kelly.
I think overall right now, I'm a little bit with you, bud.
Mm-hmm.
Wrestling feels slightly flatter than it has. AEW has had really good shows in the ring.
Mm-hmm.
The stories have been a little hit or miss, and Jeff Jarrett's there. But overall, I could see an upswing coming, but like with the E, I'm waiting for them to fuck up because they always do.
Yeah.
I'm trained to believe in that. And with AEW, we're doing good. We're doing great, but we got to find that one thing that's going to get us to the top. We got to find that one story that's going to play out really well. We got to find that. We got to find that thing, and we don't quite have it yet.
And I think what you just said, like, just clicked with me. I think AEW is a pendulum. Like, they have really shitty months, and then they come back, and it's better, and then it comes back, and like, I think that's just the state of their business right now.
I'd say January was a shitty month, and I'd say December wasn't that great either.
Yeah.
What they had was really good wrestling,
mm-hmm.
which saved them. because that's what they're able to do.
Yeah.
But yeah, the stories have been a little. And I think Tony, after a pay-per-view, is always a little bit flat.
Yeah.
And he doesn't want to show his hand because they have so much time between pay-per-views. He doesn't want to show his hand to what he's doing next till he's ready.
I think he just lays off. You know, like he just kind of throws shows together for that first. Even like the first month is just kind of seems like thrown together.
There might be little feuds or storylines here or there that are taken care of, but yeah, I would agree with that. Leon, any thoughts?
No. Nothing. I mean, nothing beyond what y'all just said.
Okay.
Take us home, bud.
Danhausen's face is freaking me out right now. Well, this has been the BREWDCAST. We had a really nasty story that we can't share with you, but it was really funny.
Wasn't that nasty? Just had one bad part.
Just that one part was kind of nasty. I have been Bud. This has been Leon, and this has been Town, who didn't bitch nearly enough. I think I bitched more than he did.
You took over for me. I didn't have to do it.
I did. That's fair. Good night,
You
everybody.
said everything I was thinking. Bye.